So first, we're taking the first question from the audience. The question is, what should be the primary focus of someone entering the corporate workspace? Should it be compensation or growth opportunities? And how does that affect one's career in the long term?
Okay, so I like that question very much because I've interviewed people with 1 year of experience and they want to collect 300K. You have to do free work. You literally have to render some free services. You're coming into the corporate space, which means you don't have experience. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to respond to query. Some people think query is death sentence. Query is just a question and answer feedback. You don't know all of these things. So you're coming into the corporate world. The first thing you should be looking out for is to gain the experience. Compensation can come afterwards because on the other side, especially in this economy, I totally understand. Said, oh, what are you earning? And I said I did not want to disclose. And they called me and said, oh, we're going to offer you 120. I said, it's 150 or nothing. Because I was sure of what I've learned. I was sure of the things I've done. You want me to bring a report card? I will ask my boss to write me a report card and I'll bring it to you. So I've gathered my experience. I was confident in what I was bringing to the organization. I might not be 100%, but I know that I'm not coming empty. So at least for the ones I know, you at least compensate me for that one. So you're coming into the corporate space, be intentional about actually growing. Don't come and tell people I'm charging you 300K and you do the work and they say this is it. I've interviewed my fellow HRs that they will say, oh, I have 17 years of experience. Okay, maybe 17 is too much. There was a time I interviewed a lady and she was like, oh, she has 7 years of experience and all of that. And I was not impressed. It was remaining.
So what I do is, I don't brand myself out there as a videograph chin. So I know that at the long run, what I intend to build from that is that we're going to have an academy. And before I say, oh, let's teach you, want to teach you something, you want to see past, you want to see track record. What have you done? Oh, let's see what you have done. So from the little things I've been doing during the videography, posting it out there, you can see that I feel like this guy, I think he knows what he's doing. I remember that I had a client, the client was referred to me. And what the client just saw, the client didn't even go to check the works. He just said, oh, I saw that you teach this and you teach it well. I believe that since you can teach it, you can do it. And that was how I got the job. So I branded myself Olu Teams separate for the video, teaching, photography. You call me, I take your pictures, or somebody takes your pictures, we do all those. But when you see that video space, you call, we teach. So we are trying to build something that, like, when I was having a conversation with HR, like, early this year, and we're talking about how we want to build creatives, especially in Ibadan, to the level where you are technically inclined, and when it comes to your soft skills also, like what she's saying, you can also deliver. So if you are maybe a content creator and you have learned how to create technically, when you get into a corporate space, you're not finding it difficult to blend in. Because most problems that creatives have is, once you are good, you find it difficult to fit into the corporate space. Oh, if I leave, I cannot come and still do 9 to 5 here. You cannot be telling me to be sending mail. I will just leave here now. I know how much I'm learning outside. They will just come in 1 gig, I learn 300, 500. How many times are you earning the 500? So we will teach that technical skills and teach the soft skill. So if you follow well, you will see that the two building is separate branding. So we have like the Creativa Africa. When I'm teaching videography, I brand it with Creativa Africa, where we create. On the long run, I might not be the one to even teach photography. I can bring in somebody that maybe my colleague teaching that has maybe good technical skill in photography into the academy to say, come and teach photography. But I'll teach you video, I'll teach you breeze. I'll bring in my HR to say, come and talk to these creatives about soft skills they need to know in the corporate space. That in itself is branding differently. I don't know, maybe I make sense. Yeah. So that's.
Thank you so much, Olu Teams. So before we continue, I'd like to recognize the presence of, apparently, it's one of the biggest PR in Ibadan. How many of us know Password TV? Password TV, we don't know him. Oh my God. So the CEO of Password TV is here. Thank you so much. All right, Waju, So this question is tailored specifically for you. I mean, I'm using the word tailored. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So this is coming from a person. You're just getting it now. All right. So Waju, I run a contemporary fashion brand, and one of my biggest goals over the next 3 years is to build this brand to be one of the most recognized in the city of Ibadan in terms of impact and people development. I'm naturally an introverted person, but I've studied how important community is in fashion, especially when it comes to building culture around the brand. My challenge now is figuring out how to genuinely build and grow a community around my brand in a city like Ibadan, while still being true to my personality. The person would love to hear your thoughts and advice on how creatives and founders can build strong communities.
Okay, thank you. They will help me too, but number one, let me start from that introvert. First of all, remove introvert from your lifestyle. It's not easy, but you have to come out. You have to come out. You have to come out. How, in 3 years, first of all, you've already created a plan for yourself that in 3 years you want to do this and that. That's number one. Then you made it specifically in Ibadan, right?
Yeah, in Ibadan.
In Ibadan. So, first question I would ask is, what are you doing currently to achieve that goal? What are you doing currently? When Olutim was speaking, he was speaking about track record. Trust me, there has to be a track record. There has to be. You have to see, call it success story, call it anything story, but there has to be a progression. What am I doing currently? What am I going to do in the next 3 months? What am I going to do in the next 5 months? That's such that in 3 years' time, I have achieved this my specific goal. You want to build a community of, in fashion space. Fashion is not hard. You can sew clothes. Is it not to join two pieces together? Mm-hmm. No problem. That's what people used to say, bah? Bring people together. But first of all, be competent at what you do. See, you cannot say you want to create something that you're not good at. You will not last. Trust me, you will not last. So many people have asked me a particular question why I don't have an apprentice. And I said it's that, first of all, I'm not ready for anybody to give me hypertension. That's the truth. I'm not ready for anybody to start chasing. That's the truth. I'm tired of I'm not coming to work. Nah. But the truth is, I have to be good at what I do before I can. All the things I've built, thank God I know him very well. He has built his life to an extent before he says he wants to be teaching. You cannot be teaching in your own learning stage. That's the truth. You are learning and you want to be teaching. You never know himself. There's no assurance that you will know it. But you have to get to a point that, no, I know this thing. I know this thing. People will see your work, and when our first speaker was saying that she looks at inside out of a clothes when she collects a clothes, I have clients like that. I've met clients that will tell you, this line is not straight. And I'm like, you won't chop the line, but they know what they are looking at. You have to be good at it such that you will teach people and they will know it too. And trust me, I don't know if anybody agrees with me. Not everybody will be a teacher. Yes. You might be good and not know how to teach. Trust me. Permit me to say, my boss did not know how to teach. We learned by looking at him. Okay, what did you cut here? He will just tell you be looking. He does not know how to explain to you that you will do 2 by 3. You now do 2 over 3. He does not know how to do it. He will tell you, look at me. If you don't know anything, just ask questions. That's how we learned. So you need to be good at it first. When you're not good at it, then you can now say, okay, let me now expand. Let me create a community for myself. And it's not just, you're not just creating a community one day that, today I'm waking up, I'm creating a community of, nah, it does not work that way. What are you doing in your brand currently? If you're using a manual machine, see, trust me, people using manual machine, so there are people using manual machine that are those using industrial. See, it's not, equipment is good, the gadgets are good, but if you can get used to something that you'll be good at it, that they will ask you, what are you using? See, you have met so many clients. It they pay me, oh, but what I want to do. That's the truth. You will get good at it. You yourself, you will know that you will praise yourself if they don't praise you, that you are good at these things. Do you think Vicky James will just wake up one day and say she wants to create? It comes with drafting, it comes with creativity. Something that I have not created before. How do I come about it? How do I stand out that, okay, when I do this thing, they will not drag me for the bad one? That's the truth. So many of us want to trend, but we end up trending for the bad ones. It's not good enough. It's not what good enough. So get good at it. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. Get good at it. If you have a mentor, follow your mentor. Back hold his hem of his garment like this and be following him or her. Follow him or her. And know what you are doing. You've set a target already. Have an, what's it called? Accountability partner. That will hold you that you've not done this. That's what you should do. Put things in place. Put structure in place. If there's no structure, the business will crumble. Put structure in place. I think I was asking him recently that somebody wanted to book his service and he was saying, message this contact, they will attend to you. And I'm like, oh God, for me, Christ. But the truth is, it's structure. It is structure. If you don't have money, don't go and employ Kineo. I'm not saying you go and do some things that you don't have money for. Sometimes you can open 5 WhatsApp on your phone. They don't know that you're the one doing everything by yourself. They don't know that you're attending to them. That's the truth. And when you have the capability to employ people, do it. Trust me, do it. And I'm trusting that God will help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Waju. Because of time, we're going to be wrapping up very soon. So this is a question for Gen Z HR. So I really like like someone who's applying for a job. So dear Gen Z HR, what factor do you think affects people who apply for a job, pass all stages of interview, but don't get the job? So maybe I'll not add to my own question. I mean, or let me go first with the question, yeah? All right.
Okay. There is no one answer to that question because I've been in decision-making rooms, right, for a talent. You've done everything that you want to do and you did not pass. There are a lot of factors that can happen. It can be the Oga, sister, brother, boyfriend, cousin that finally said, oh, he just finished, so let's give him the job, let's see what he can do. It can be, honestly speaking, it can be anything. It can also be spiritual, actually. You know, it can be an Arsenal situation, but in this time, they might finally call you. So, please. So it can be literally anything. But what I would just advise is, if you get to that point, you've done your part, you know that you've aced these different levels of interview, ask them for the feedback. If they're not calling you, or they didn't give you the job, you are entitled to know why. You are actually entitled to know why. Okay, what happened? What went wrong? What went
are
right?
you saying that we're entitled to know why we don't get the job?
In this situation?
But then generally, are we entitled? Do we have the opportunity to reach out back to the organization to know why we didn't get the job?
You can. Does not mean they will answer you, but I mean, that's the freedom of speech. So you can always reach out to them and say why, if they want to. I mean, for me now, sometimes, right, I give feedback on the interview section right there. I see some things and I'm like, no, I'm not going to allow this person go like this because I'm not going to give you the job, but I'm going to correct you so you know what to do next time. So you can actually do that. So like I said, in that regard, it can literally be anything. But if you've done, imagine you did like 5 stages of interview. Ask them why. 5 stages of interview is not small. So you can ask, okay, what went wrong? What happened? There's a possibility, again, the HR might not be willing to tell you what happened. Because why would I want to tell you it was my boss that bought a final candidate that was not even on my list to come on board, right? But at least it shows that if it's something that went wrong, maybe towards the end, it might be your final phone call that you called and then you snapped at them and they're like, this person cannot work under pressure. You never can tell. So you can actually find out what happened.
Thank you very much, dear your Gen Z HR. What you wanted to say something? I mean, you really, okay, you wanted to say something? Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, Olutins, the question is it possible to be a creative and still work 9 to 5?
Yes, 100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I started doing 9 to 5 before saying I want to do my thing. See, I would say, if we are starting out, it is very, very important that you do a 9 to 5. Very, very important that you do a 9 to 5. Why? 9 to 5 will teach you structure. 9 to 5 will teach you discipline. You see, the one that you think that you're an entrepreneur, you can wake up 12 o'clock and decide that, I don't want to do anything today. See, 9 to 5, you know it is 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship, it is when you wake up till when you are sleeping. It is 24 hours. You can be there 1 a.m., 2 a.m. doing, but 9 to 5, once it's 5 o'clock, you have the luxury to say, hello, it's not in my contract that I do extra, I'm going. But if you're on your own, if you deliver to a client and the client tells you that, I don't like it, my brother, if they are wearing or you are wearing that outfit the next day, you will work overnight too. You don't have luxury to tell your client that, no, I don't think I can work. This is already 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. You go do it. When you are doing 9 to 5, you have the opportunity to hide under the shadow of the organization when you go wrong. So there are times where you are still learning and you make mistakes. That 9 to 5 will help you build during that your mistake period. Because I made a lot of mistakes. But I can hide under the organization. Anytime we go and cover events, and the events we didn't cover the important details, I will just hide my head that whatever will happen, it is the organization that they will drag, it's not me. But once it comes to your personal work, it's not you are the organization. They will drag you. So 9 to 5 is very, very important because it will teach you a lot. I learned structuring in my 9 to 5. I learned presentation 9 to 5. I learned critical thinking 9 to 5. I learned how to answer questions like very, very urgently. They just throw it at you and they're not expecting the right answer, but they're expecting your response to it. I learned those in 9 to 5. Wow. I learned how to work under pressure 9 to 5 because they will throw everything at you. It looks like they are punishing you. It looks like they are using more, but they are actually building you. Because if you go to another organization that they are not as strict as that, they will look at you as God because they feel like you are bringing more than what is because you have learned it from where you are coming. So if you don't do your 9 to 5 and you think you want to run a business, you might end up making those mistakes in your business and it will cost you a lot.
All right, thank you so much, Olu teams. So because of time, we'll not be taking any more questions. Because of time. So, Waju. So as a one-man fashion designer, who is starting a ready-to-wear business, how do I deal with bulk orders without outsourcing? As a one-man fashion designer, who is starting a ready-to-wear business, how do I deal with bulk orders without outsourcing?
If you outsource, except you want to kill yourself, you outsource. So, I have some clients in the building, but they will not go anywhere. I've tied them down. So let me tell you a secret. Most of the jobs I do, I outsource. That's the truth. And that's not because I cannot do them. That's because they are too much. And it's not always like that. See, there's sometimes that it could do you like say you won't die. And sometimes you will not see rain, you will not see sun. You will just open your mouth like, no work. But those days that are tough, I outsource it. I know like, before I outsource, it's not like I have people that I can easily message, how far? If you make, there's somebody in the house that she has been disturbing that she wants to learn suits. If you make suits, you know how complicated suits is. Suit has to do with pieces, like structure, cut this. Like you can literally spend 24 hours just cutting pieces separately. In me, I cannot go through that stress because I have other things. The time I used to cut pieces, I finished 2 kaftans. What do? I have a man. Hello, Daddy Beji, Mungbe suit ball. I'm collecting so dates. Send money and my suit is ready. And you will wear suit and you'll be like, oh, this is nice. And my brand they carry. And the days that we do rubbish, and my brand will still carry. But the truth is, I have worked with them. And one thing I have told myself is, I don't outsource people I don't know or people I've not tried. I try with my own clothes first. Spoil my own clothes. I will vex so, but spoil my own clothes than spoil customers' clothes. That's the truth. These people I call, it's not like they've not done mistakes before. Funny part is, the person I call, he will not make mistake on 3K fabric. It's not like you now buy like 15K. He will not tell you, Jesus Christ. Do you know the funny part? You will now go back to the market, he will now tell you, fabric has finished. You will now look at it, and if you told customer your clothes is ready, you will now start looking. I'm not saying you should lie you, but the truth is, try them out. They will pass the test of time. And then you can now outsource. But if you can do it, please do it. See, the more you do something, the more you know it. There was a particular time I was doing vintage back to back. When I finished doing vintage for like 3 months straight, I need to go back to Kaftan and I was making mistakes. Because my head was already calculated that vintage shirt, 3.5 cut, and I was making mistakes. So I had to like, but I realized at that point, that the more you do it, the more you know it. At some point, I stopped using measurement. I just, this is the size now. I know that there are tailors in the house that you will see some inches and you realize this thing cannot be more than 4 inches. It's because you have worked with that particular measurement, so you say that you know that this thing cannot be more than this now.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the way it is. If you can do it, do it. But if you cannot, I'm not saying you got to give everything to somebody. Make sure you do some of it. And then outsource with good clients, with good workers. Don't just pick people. That's what I can tell you.
Thank you very much, Waju. Thank you for that one. All right, so there's a question I'm going to ask all of us. It's a general question. We'll just answer it. Well, that's what we're going to use to wrap up this panel session. But before that, someone has a question, and I feel this is coming from a pained heart. So it's tailored for our Gen Z HR. Now, this is not just for HR now. This is because of, maybe to all companies. So the person says, why do they ask for salary expectation when at the end they will pay what they want to pay us?
Thank you very much for that question. Okay. So when we post jobs or when we need to recruit in a company, there are a lot of behind the scene factors that, we don't see outside. I want to recruit in a company. I'm looking, okay, what level is this person coming in? What's the years of experience I'm looking at? What's the grade? I do my market survey. I check Glassdoor, Hot Nigerian Job. I see what they're paying this category of talent, right? And then I put my job ad out there. So you come on the interview section and I'm asking you, maybe my job ad, I'm doing a lot of recruitment at the moment, and we are trying, in my head, I'm looking at 1 to 2 years of experience. So typically that would be like large range, 100 to 200. And you come on board and I say, what's the salary expectation? And you say, oh, you're looking at 300, 350. That's not what I want to pay, but I want to know. So even if I need to negotiate, I know where to negotiate from. I've done a recruitment where I think the pay range was 800, and I interviewed this man and he was like, oh, he's currently earning, I think 1.2. And I'm like, when he was very, I'm like, sorry, I know my target audience. I'm sorry. Because even if I want to negotiate, nobody wants to go from 1.2 to below. Even if it's 1.25 something, let them even get an increase. So if they're asking so they will know whether you fit into, I can't speak for all HR, but for myself, I'm asking if your salary expectation, which I normally do, I'm asking if you fit, because I want to know if you fit into the category. If I ask you and your expectation does not tally the requirement on the role, I'll point it out there. Because again, salary is a way of shooting yourself in the leg. You have 2 years of experience. You don't have any certification that is required on the role, and you want to be earning 400. Chauffeur Genie. You don't have the experience. I can't be paying you 400 and then I'm still teaching you the basic. I'm teaching you how to drag Excel sheets down. I'm teaching you how to copy and paste. No. It's not. So if I'm asking salary expectation, it's because I want to know if you fit into the salary range that the company is willing to offer. and if your skill and experience actually tallies with what you want. Not necessarily because, again, we want to pay you what we want to pay you. Which will bring me to say this last thing. Before you tell them your salary range, do your experience, your research rather. You know you can do research online and it will tell you what these companies are actually paying. Your level of experience, you have 2 years level of experience. You can check the mid, the level, and the highest paid. You can do that. So learn to do research, especially when you are on the other side of the table as the candidates. Do your research. So even if they want to tackle what you're saying, and you tell me straight up, oh, I did my research on this website, I saw this, I will calm down. I'll know that, okay, this person, they may not know it today, but they will definitely grow into this money they're asking for. So yes.
Thank you so much. So aside from research, are there other, do you have other tips you could give someone that wants to go into 9 to 5? Things you should look out for, maybe during your interview, your applying process and all.
Attention to details is very key.
Right.
I posted something on my WhatsApp. I think it was last week Monday. This person sent me a CV, and it started with, "Hi dear, money I didn't know we are Okomemofe employed." So attention to details is very, very key. You are applying for a job, and it's your bank statement you are attaching. To apply for a job, it doesn't take more than 5 to 7 minutes. You can even copy and paste your body of email before and just change the role. Just change the role and put it there. You're applying for a job, attention to details. You are checking the location. You're applying for a job, you're in Ibadan. Location is in Abuja. Is when you now come to interview, you now tell them, oh, I'm in Ibadan. They will say, what are your plans? You say, maybe if I get the job, I'll now look for. You're already appearing some type of way. So don't. Pay attention. Do your research. Be intentional about it. Some of us, they will call us now. I'm calling you from so company. You'll be wondering, I don't know them. It's you that send. We don't steal CVs. We don't. It's not in the cloud. I don't have a drive that has everybody's CV. So it's what you are sending to me that I'm applying for. Don't be absent-minded. So be intentional about what you're doing. You want to grow. You want to earn more. It's a career path you've chosen to do. So don't just do it as anyhow, like you're playing ball on the street or something. Be intentional about it. So when you come with these mindsets, whether it's in Lagos or it's in Ibadan, they already know what you're doing, right? And there is this thing with Ibadan. When we wanted to start the consulting firm, in fact, we still intend to do it. We intend to have our headquarters here in Ibadan. I see some ridiculous job ad, and because it is Ibadan, you are like, it looks as if they advertise a job in Ibadan, you see 500K, be like, 500K. And in Lagos, you're just like 500K. By the time I enter Lekki, Aja, 1.5, it has finished. But because it's Ibadan, so there's a stereotype. We're not going to lie to ourselves that, oh, it's Ibadan. That's why they want to charge you some ridiculous amounts because it's Ibadan. We see it in our Uber drivers and all. They say, "Bam, if you can see all those things." You can't tell me that in Lagos. I will report your account. They will take it down. And things like that. So be intentional. Drag yourself out of the stereotype. It's entry level. Do it like a professional. I saw something on this board, which I said I was going to mention. Okay, the only way to do the great work is to do what you love. Only you is doing customer service, only you is doing HR, only you do office assistant, only you do cleaner, only you do tech, which one do you want? Pick a struggle and go with it. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, and more, Seth, you've answered so many questions. Thank you, Gen Z HR. So, my last question now is in regards to what you mentioned, the last thing you said, the stereotype that we have in Ibadan. I know particularly that we're creatives, and we're not just only limited to Ibadan, yes? From Ibadan to the world, global. But then there's a stereotype, and I do not think it's even a stereotype anymore. It's real, it's happening. It's such that it looks as if Ibadan, we are way behind in terms of creativity, in terms of, branding, in terms of selling ourselves. And it's really painful to see that as a creative, at any point in time you want to is it enter into fame or anything, your first thinking is for you to leave Ibadan. Is to go to, some people mentioned some state earlier today. They mentioned Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja and all. But then, what's wrong with Ibadan? What do you think as creatives we should now do to change that mindset and not just changing mindsets to effect something that is visible in Ibadan. I mean, I believe that as from today, creatives here, we're going to make changes here in Ibadan. So what do you think as a creative, what's our role in changing that stereotype?
Okay, don't be small-minded. There's this thing where, oh, it's Ibadan. Even me too. When I come home, I do it, right? Where shops are not open till 10. No. When I was working on the island, I get to CMS like around 5:36. I have where I buy yam, potato. They fry the stew, they fry the sausage, as at 5:30. But Ibadan, because it's 10 a.m., they don't want to open. So don't be small-minded. That's the first thing I'm going to say. You're a creative, you are an entrepreneur. Your target audience is not just Ibadan. It's not Ibadan people you are looking for. And that's the only way you can sell yourself to outside Ibadan people. We came, I think in February, my team and I, we came to Ibadan and we came to meet some organizations here that we wanted to render HR services to them and all of that. And I felt at some points, because we were saying we came from Lagos, they were willing to, what brand have you worked with? When we were going to the next person, I'm like, please, let's stop saying we came from Lagos. We are in Ibadan. We came from Ibadan. And these are the works that we've done. But we have clients outside of Ibadan. So if I'm coming to you to sell myself, I'm not coming to you to sell myself that I'm coming from Lagos. In fact, Lagos is not my target audience. We intend to take over as much as possible. So don't be small-minded. You're creative. Don't be, let me just do the small thing I can do. If I can just be doing this small shop, something, 50K is okay. No. Let you be the person that Adidas is looking for. And they'll say, oh, the boy is in Ibadan.
Really?
Be the person that they are looking for. Like, they want to do things outside of Nigeria, in fact. And they're coming to Ibadan to come and pick you up. So you start by not being small-minded. And that will bring me to say you be intentional about your personal growth. Don't allow your environment to influence so much. You are doing 9 to 5 in Ibadan. Don't be the one that, because it's Ibadan, Mikra is taking time to get food. Don't get late to work. Because it's Ibadan. It's a struggle, but snatch yourself out of the stereotype. By the time we open our office in Ibadan, you people will know. And you know that this one, we're not running Ibadan show in this organization.
Thank you so much. I mean, you mentioned something how that, Ibadan to the world. Do you know that the photographer to Tony Limelu started from Ibadan, Toby? Yeah, I mean, and he's doing a great job. I mean, I look at his images and, this is very, very good. So, Lutims, I would love to hear from you. Same question.
Yeah.
What do you think a creative should do as creative, rather?
Yeah, so I think exposure is very important. It's the same way we are saying Ibadan, Lagos. It's the same way we also compare Nigeria and outside Nigeria. It's the same thing. Now, for me to be open-minded in Ibadan, I have to leave Ibadan. Not necessarily leave Ibadan like in location, but in my mind. So I had a client, and we went to shoot at I think it was Lekki. When we got there, that was when I discovered that for some clients, you see, the picture you're actually rendering is the last thing they want to get. There is more to deliver than picture. I was speaking with like top photographers, and when they were telling me what they sell, my mind changed. Now, a photographer telling you that I don't sell pictures, I'm like, okay, so what are you selling? You called me to come and snap you. And somebody's telling you, I sell relationship. I sell class. I sell this. So before I take your picture, I'm giving you a perception of who I am. So it changes the way you even perceive me to say you want to prize me. Now, that can only happen if you have mixed with people that think that way. So if I have a friend, for example, if she is my friend and we have conversations, she can pick some things in me that, Olu teams, you are still thinking like this. Why? Because I'm exposed to this thing. I need to go out of what I am, what I think I am, and see things differently. There are some things that we do that we think that we are excellent. See, I will share an experience. A client reached out to me, and that was why I took Pastor Joshua's prayer very seriously. A client reached out to me and said, Olu teams, I need you in Lagos tomorrow morning, um, 11 a.m. I was in Ibadan, I was still in my house, okay, 11 a.m. You are snapping this client. So place. I said, where? What's your charge? I gave the person the price. After we are done, he said, Olu Teams, this client, you are coming by this time. Where is this client? Give me the client's info. Let me check the client out. The client is not online. You can't find him online. Where am I coming to? Say Banana Island. And I don't drop price. Oh, more. Now, we were having conversations. She made me realize that some of the things I was saying during the conversation is still looking like, are you sure you can deliver? It's not because I cannot deliver, but the kind of conversations we're having is not showing that this person can actually deliver. And that's what happens. When you have conversations with creatives, the level of conversation that you have, you can tell that in you it's still. So that is when I can tell you that you are worth 300. I can give you 50. And in your mind, she says something. When you see 500, you say, wow. That's because, in quotes, that's when you'll be pursuing Lagos. The next thing you will now see is, location changed. I'm in Lagos. Why? My clientele is in Lagos. Why? OT. I hope I make sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olu Teams. To our convener, Waju.
Okay, I believe they've even said it all. Well, one thing my mantra is people that think big do big things. That's one thing I've always told myself. See, dare to do big things. That's just basic things. Dare to do big things. If you are not thinking big, you will not grow. You will not grow. When I mean think big, I mean, like you were saying, you would think Lagos is better than Ibadan. I'm not saying it's better and it might be better. I don't know. But the truth is,
You have friends in Ibadan, be careful.
the truth is, if we can dare to do different things here, we'll do it. We'll do it. I've had options to leave too that make myself go this Lagos. I will not lie. Even Abuja say, nah, yeah, where the money is, we'll go there. But at some point I said, nah, let's just stay here. Why did we start this in the first place? That's why when I was talking first, I said, write the vision plain. You should know why you are doing some things. Ibadan is a big city. And they will tell you, I think we were discussing yesterday, and there's one, I said Ibadan is the largest city, right? And yet, we are leaving Ibadan, the largest city, to go to somewhere that is smaller than us. Why? You have to bring yourself out of that stereotype. You have to bring yourself. I didn't mention this before, and I'm going to round up with it. We run a dry cleaning store. Most people don't even know that it is me that run the dry cleaning store. And somebody came to the store, I think 2 weeks ago, and the man was an elderly man, and he was asking for price, and I even brought out the price list, and I was showing him. He was like, okay. And he was like, so there's no lights, how do you iron? I said, we have a gent on standby. And he was like, oh, that's lovely. And the man was waiting, and I was waiting, and we were looking, and he was like, hey, go on the gent. And I was looking at the man, he was not carrying anything. I was like, okay, maybe someone, and I went to quickly on there. And the man entered my shop, and he was offering his clothes, and said, Taiba Milo, buy la shima shileko. And I was looking at him like, and the truth is, somebody has done it. That's why he thinks it works. And it works for him. He said there are people that leave their house in the morning and they go to the cleaning store, iron, and they are going to work. And they are looking iron, and you are looking sharp, but they just iron their clothes. They don't care. They are looking good. That's his business strategy. Ura Fadaka will tell you, bring your clothes and get it in 24 hours. Now he has even changed it to 2 hours. And me, I'm wondering, I'm still struggling with the style. You want to deliver in 2 hours. It is something, it's not just, it's his fashion, but they are doing something differently. But you will pay the money, obviously. So if I'm charging probably 800 naira to wash your clothes, and you say you want to collect it immediately like this, of course you pay more, but people want it more. People will pay for more. The people don't like stress. That's the truth. People don't like stress. Anything that comes easy, they will do it, and they will pay for it. That's the truth. So you have to think out of the box and say, okay, this is how I want to do. Bring yourself out of that Ibadan stereotype. Thank God, Pastor TV is here. He will tell you that one too. There are people outside that are in this Ibadan that are doing great things. Baba Sunushi is there, he's doing great things in this Ibadan. The guy is still doing great things, and he's still in this Ibadan. So you can do it. You can do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're going to, we want to wrap up. Only teams want to say something.
Yeah, what I want to say is, when we start anything, please put it at the back of your mind that you're trying to build something, a global standard business. It helps you in thinking. It helps you to cut out unnecessary kind of conversations. See, I learned that the hard way. There are some things that you would want to do, but because you are not thinking in that global standard, you play small. Global standard does not mean you are charging 1 million. No. You can still be charging as low as maybe 50,000, even 20,000. But when they come in, they see that, like she said something, when we come into Ibadan, you will know that we are here. Why? There is that thinking that we are not doing it the normal way. It's a global standard. And it helps you to check things outside your space. So for example, I want to do something differently. I don't need to be checking people doing that thing in Ibadan or doing that thing in Lagos. I need to check people doing that same thing outside the country. I see the way they run things. So when I start to implement that thing in my own local assembly or my local way, it looks like I'm doing something extraordinary. No. For example, maybe when somebody traveled out, you saw that when you go to the toilet, they don't flush anymore like this. Maybe you just press a button or you just scan something. When it comes here and does that same thing, because we are not exposed to that, when you see it, you'll be like, wow. The difference is somebody is seeing it outside that location. So if you are starting something in Ibadan, even if it's a makeup business, anything in Ibadan, the people you are to follow, that you are to learn from, let it not be people in Ibadan or people even in Lagos. Look out, so that the little things they are doing that looks like a normal thing there, if you do it here, they will rate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all our guests, to our Gen Z HR, to Lutins and Waju for honoring our invitation to be here. Let's appreciate them, please. Thank you so much. So yes, come to the end of this panel session, but then just know that the conversation here is not ending. The conversation should continue, and it should change your mindset, change how you think, change who you are. Think outside the box. Our guest has rightly said so many things, so many profound things. I would not do well to reiterate, but please ensure that as from today, you're being you and you Jere. Very, very important. Say Jere. Thank you so much, guys. All right. So I want to believe that we all, enjoyed ourselves today, right? Did we all enjoy ourselves today? Did we get one or two things? I think I even got more than one or two, Seth. I got so many things. And like I would always say, I'd like to thank every one of us. So on behalf of Creative Conference 2026, on behalf of the convener, the organizers, and those who have put this program together, would like to say thank you to every one of you that they've taken out your time to be here today. We know that you have one or two things to do. Some of us we are creatives, and most times Saturday is always our day of work. But then we've taken out our time. Like now she's a nail tech, and I know that today is like I'm Betty. But yeah, she took our time to be here today. As many photographers and videographers, and our Gen Z HR, we have a line of people trying to apply for a job right now, but then she's here to, speak to us. I'd like to say thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma, for, being here with us. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's safe to say that this is the end of Creative Conference 2026 with the theme Creative Code, and we like to implore you all that when we call again next time, that we'll be around. So how many of us are going to be around for next edition? So if you know that you really enjoy this edition and you'll be around for next edition, just wave your hands. Some people are not waving their hands. I'm not forcing you now, genuinely. All right. So we'd love to see your beautiful faces again. So on this note, we've come to the end of Creative Conference. Thank you everyone for coming. So right now, you can just network. This is where we get to network. You get to take pictures. There are people if you love to meet, you've been seeing, if you want to say hi, you can just walk up to them, say hi, engage them in conversation. If you've edited your CV like I mentioned that time, some people were not really, they think I was joking. Okay, you can just do that, enjoy yourself. Some people are just sitting down. Yeah. All right. So once we do that, we'll take a general picture and